Welcome guys, today we have another Wolcen guide. This is more targeted towards new players, but some insights might be also helpful for intermediate players. So let's have a look. We know that with the higher stats we have a single stat that we get a stat bonus for bonus attribute bonus. So the bonus damage is gained from attribute points and the primary one gets more bonus damage and second so on. So the primary one is ferocity here. I have been adding all my points into ferocity for the story mode. I plan to reset my points after I get to the end game, if I need survivability, if I need something else. So what's this guide about? Right now I have lots of different gears. I have the gears that increase my material damage. I have most of them that increase material damage because I'm going for physical damage, critical hit, basically a spinner, and basically a one-shot wonder with crits. So what's happening right now is I started to realize the importance of adding basic damage. You can see that my average damage is about 1600, and this is pretty acceptable for the campaign. So what's happening is, if you look at these gloves, it adds 17% material damage. That should be physical damage for me, and if I take the gloves off, you see that my damage reduced about 70-ish. Yeah, the damage reduced about 70-ish on average damage, and that's from 17% material damage. And also I get the agility, and agility would help with the attack speed, so the attack speed also helped with the number here. So it lost about 70 average damage. But if you look at this amulet, other than the 20 all attributes, the biggest factor here why I'm having this amulet is 4 to 10 physical damage. This is actually a massive factor. So if you have a look again, I took the amulet out, and this time we lost about 180 average damage, simply because the amulet itself boosts our physical weapon damage by so much. Let's have a look at it again. So here weapon damage is about 900 to 1400. If I take it off, I lose almost 50 to 100 weapon damage just from the 4 to 10 physical damage. What this means is that you want a high base weapon if you're going for a physical build, let's say rangers, warriors, assassins, any of those. So you want a high base damage weapon. My base damage weapon is pretty high here, but I'm also adding the gems that increase the physical damage, which is my base damage. The higher physical damage I have, the stronger it will become, and this factor is multiplied multiple ways. There's a few ways I'm multiplying it. One way is with critical chance and also critical damage. The other way, in my talent tree, which I'll discuss with you guys, is I'm actually multiplying it another double with the spells that has more rage. With rage that's over 750, my spellcaster will do double damage, and this multiplies that again. So basically a crit can be multiplied twice with this. So knowing that and having this in mind, what we want to consider is the factors that makes up the basis of the damage. And what I start to realize is I have been taking material damage, and the biggest factor is actually critical chance, critical hit damage, and also the base damage. Those are the stats we should be on the lookout for. Let me show you guys again. So this belt here has 29% critical hit score and also the 17% critical hit damage. If I took it off, I'll actually lose about 200 of my average damage just in the numbers of critical chance and also critical hit damage. So once you have stacked yourself with lots of material damage or physical damage, you might be going for rend damage, you might be going for poison for the physical build, you should look out for the physical damage from different sets of gears. Rings, amulets are the best, and then other gears you should consider getting your critical hit damage and critical hit chances. So I did speak this a little fast, and hopefully you guys see where I'm coming from. I think this would really help, and we can go further with our build into stories and into the end game from this. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you find this helpful. I'll be looking for more guides and small tips for you guys as we go.